planned it. It shouldn't be immediate. You understand? But they agreed that this girl, Judy will conceive for Yul Edochie. Before you knew it, Judy became pregnant. Before you knew it, she gave birth to that baby boy. And part of the agreement was that Yul Edochie will announce the baby to the world as his biological son, which was the last straw that broke the camel's back. So, and this whole thing turned the table around, whereby this guy, Yul Edochie, was doing the biddings of this girl. So that was just a simple truth. So every other things started coming out of, this story. All the things, all the activities they embarked on, was just emanated from this story, actually. You understand? So that was why when people are throwing jabs at them, even on social media, both of them will keep dancing because people never knew the real story. You understand? So until you know this story, you won't see them dancing again. You understand? They create fun, they dance, they make merry, over a story people conceive to be a wrong story. So that was the truth. You understand? It's not today we've been seeing things like this, or maybe probably a young girl run into a married man. You understand? And to such an extent that they got married. It didn't start today, and it will definitely not end today. We've been seeing those things. You understand? It's just that these people's own, to me, they went to the extreme. You understand? They took their own story or their own matter took a different turn from what people expected, and at the same time, it's quite a disgusting thing they did there, and to the shame of the industry. You understand? Because I've not seen a celebrity that did so many disgusting things like Yul Edochie. So that's the reason I said I must come out to say things, the real things. I've been keeping it to myself. It's not something I should have just like that. You understand? I open up and start talking, but at some point, I came to that conclusion to open up. That was exactly what happened. And if people can remember vividly, there was a time such a thing happened in the case of John Dumelo of Ghana. You understand? Several years ago, whereby a certain girl commenting on social media. At that time, social media had not gotten to where it is today. You understand? So the said girl was lamenting, shouting, that people should tell John Dumelo to refund all her money. So at that time, it was even the story that got to the public space. Even people at that time never knew there was even another side of that story which happened to be the real one, the real story. So they conceived the wrong one, that this guy ate a girl's money, a certain girl's money. You understand? When I'm talking money, we are talking about thousands of dollars. Because the girl, from what I heard, was based in US. So, but from the inner side and from the real side, I got the real information of what happened and what transpired at that time. It happened that the said girl tried to monopolize these guys tried to monopolize John Dumelo. You understand? At that time you see both of them, flags. They're all over, they are everywhere. So in their own case at that time, theirs took a different turn. Immediately John Dumelo came across another girl, a new girl. And this girl felt cheated, even when she knew that they were not married to each other. So, but just because of those cash she was spending on John Dumelo, she thought that maybe those cash could have at that time chained this guy to herself. You understand? She wanted to monopolize and keep John Dumelo to herself to such an extent that she was monitoring every of his moves, wherever he is. You understand? You want to make call and know exactly who are there with him. So to such an extent, and even if he's any other person, you understand, the person would have reacted. But that was the story. It's a similar thing that even made me. It was this case of Yul Edochie's and Judy Austin's issue. This is the issue that made me remember that one. That one reigned at that time. But that's just the thing, anytime you see all these male celebrities, more especially the cute ones amongst them, you see all these big girls, flocking around them, throwing cash on them and then trying to make them happy and all that. So it's the pure truth. But that of this guy took a different turn. So, like I was saying, when Yul Edochie couldn't pay back the money, and he also never wanted Judy to drag him on social media. And so that was at the point he started doing her biddings, obeying whatever command Judy was dishing out at that time. So at that time, even I also heard that the close friends to Yul Edochie mounted pressure on him not to go as far as he did at that time, but he kept, doing what he was doing. He was so adamant and never wanted somebody to talk him out of it. You understand? Never knowing there was a real issue underneath. So both of them have been keeping this secret from people, for a public space. You understand? Not until I decided to let the cat out of the bag. You understand? So that was exactly what happened. Though it was quite a reluctant process for Yul Edochie to agree to that second marriage with Judy Austin. It was quite a long. It wasn't immediate. So it's something he thought over and over and over, you understand, trying to digest it, trying to know the implications, you understand, and all that. So, but some things also were into consideration at that time. As I heard that Yul Edochie met many qualities in Judy Austin, which May Edochie, his wife, never had. He met so many qualities, that he loves in women, you understand, which his wife never had. So that also was a stepping stone again to that second marriage. His indebtedness to Judy Austin played 90% of the role. Then that comparison, he was comparing those qualities Judy Austin had and which his wife never had, played 10% of what happened. So that was exactly what happened. Because like all these crew members that were feeding me with all this information and all that, in as much as they were looked down upon, they are everywhere. In every production house, you see many of them there. They have done so many films to their credit. So these were exactly what happened. So that when you, as a commentator, wants to comment, you know what you are actually commenting on. You want to give your judgment, you know what you are judging from. So this is just the pure truth. And that was exactly what happened, according to where those information were brought to me. So that is it. If you ask me, I would say Judy Austin outsmarted Yul Edochie in many ways. Yes, a whole lot of money weren't accounted for. You understand? A whole lot of her money, was in the custody of Yul Edochie, which wasn't paid back. You understand? But I saw that thing as something momentary. You understand? But what Judy Austin got in return, the favor and what he got from Yul Edochie was quite far, bigger than whichever money or whatever money, Yul Edochie must have gotten from her. Trust me, that is the truth. Because several years ago, nobody knew about Judy Austin. Nobody even knew that she existed. So all of a sudden, she now got herself entangled with this guy. You understand? And feasted on that popularity and make herself popular. Now, if you go to her page, you see numerous followers, and now she's the talk of the town. She meets politicians. All these politicians, she meets them on daily basis. In fact, as in the team made her so popular. In as much as it might be a big amount for Yul Edochie to pay back, you understand, is a shaking money to this girl, because it's not in any way close to what she can make with this her popularity now, her present status now. So that's why I said she outsmarted. So now Yul Edochie on his own side, can't pay this money. Even in a long while, he can't pay it. So that was where, he started doing this girl's biddings. It was business that they did, which a whole lot of money was left in the care of Yul Edochie, and they weren't paid back. So that is just a thing. So it was from there that the whole lot of things, all these people, you people had now say coming out. And when I was reading some comments, I came across where several people were saying it was sham that Judy Austin used on Yul Edochie. I laughed. It was quite laughable. My dear, it wasn't any sham at all. It wasn't any sham. Yul Edochie, when every other artist, celebrities were reigning. You understand? So flaunting their houses, their cars and the rest. You understand? So he wanted to do his and that, but he had not gotten to that extent. He had not gotten to that status to start flaunting cash and houses and the rest. So that made him, enter the trap of this girl. That pushed him into this trap, which he never came out. And now the thing has destroyed the peace of his family. You understand? Destabilized, broke his home and the rest. So he's serving grace now. It's just that Facebook is paying. Maybe all those things, all those gingerings, all those things they were doing, you understand, creating fun on social media, understand? Because probably social media will be paying them for all those traffic. The traffic they generate from their controversy of their marriage. That is what is paying them, Yul Edochie for now. Because we as producers, we don't contract him again because of all this ugly story hanging around him. Everybody wants to put his money where his money will not be jeopardized. So no producer thinks of hiring his services any longer. So the little benefit or the little money he's making is just from the social media. So when he posts something, everybody will enjoy. Everybody will want to watch and see where to criticize you, not knowing you are putting money in his pocket at the same time. That made this girl done to him is far bigger than the money he thought he got from her. And secondly, this issue of maybe him comparing Judy Austin with his wife, May Edochie, is where another problem lied. Because he saw many good things, many things he thought was good. You understand? In Judy Austin, his wife never possessed some qualities, some things he enjoyed in women, you understand? Probably he never saw them in the wife. That made him, that push or that led him, you understand, to move towards that direction. You understand? Even after all the warnings by his friends, by his family members and the rest. So it was just probably because his father is a traditional man and supports all this polygamy and all that, even though the father never had any polygamous marriage. But he hadn't seen it as a bad idea. So that was why their own flourished. So it was never in any way a sham. It wasn't a sham and it will never be a sham. It's just that he saw things. That was, according to what I had, that was what formed that money he was owing Judy Austin formed 90% of what happened. And then the 10% came from that comparison between the qualities Judy Austin had and then the qualities his wife had. So that was where he started thinking of maybe who to run to, that kind of thing. Though he never had intention of driving, May Edochie home. No, he wanted to manage both of them. Understand? Not knowing that the whole marriage could crash. And at that time, he saw his children coming after him. You understand? So he thought May Edochie must have turned his children against him. So that contributed another stage of crisis in that marriage. So these were what happened, to the best of my knowledge, from what I had from within our industry. So that people, when you are making your statements, when you're making your utterances, you know exactly what you are dishing out. You know what you're saying. You know what you're commenting on. So I think that's all I had to say. I need to set this record straight so that people will be guided. Thank you very much.